Today, we are going to be drawing our sunflower for our starry night picture. Start by getting all the colors that you will need. You'll need the browns, the oranges, the yellows, black, maybe some white and red. Make sure you have all the colors. I'm going to start with the brown, and I'm going to trace the cup towards the bottom center of my yellow paper. Go all the way around to hold it very carefully so it does not move. That looks good. That will be the center of my sunflower. Now I'm going to draw a line through the middle of my paper, and the top half of my space I'm going to divide into 4 sections. So 1, 2, and 3 makes 4 sections. It's okay if your lines are not perfectly straight. So now I have 4 sections for my flower petals. I'm going to start with the center of my flower, and I'm going to draw large polka dots with all the different colors that I have. I'm going to make them some large, some a little smaller. I'm going to mix the colors together. You can use the browns, the light, the dark, the medium brown. You can use yellow. You can use orange. You can even add some white in there if you would like to. Now I'm going to use some of the other colors. This is the darker brown. Don't forget to get around the edges. If you accidentally get some of your coloring outside the circle, that's okay. We are going to be cutting this out, so it doesn't matter if it stays inside the circle. Continue working on this process until you have filled up the entire circle. You have to fill the entire circle with polka dots that are blended together. So keep working until the whole thing is done. Again, if your oil pastel breaks, that's okay. You can still use the little pieces. If your fingers start to get dirty, you can use a paper towel to clean them off. That looks good. So I'm going to keep working on this. Once this is completely done, I'm going to go back over it and add black polka dots for like the little seeds that are inside the center of the flower. So now I'm working on my black polka dots. I am pressing and kind of rubbing just a little bit to make the dot. I am not hitting the oil pastel onto the flower to make the dot. If you hit the oil pastel onto the flower, it will just break the oil pastel. You have to press and kind of rub it to make the polka dot. Again, you want to cover the whole space with these polka dots, making sure to go all the way to the edge. Again, if you go outside the circle, that's okay. All the flowers will look different. Your flower will not look the same as your neighbor's, depending on how you mixed your colors, so it is okay if yours is not the same as everybody else's. Now I'm going to flip my paper over, and I'm going to work on drawing my flower petals. It is a teardrop shape, or a football shape, or 2-letter C's that are holding hands. However you want to think about it, that's the shape. It needs to be pointy on the ends. You want to fill all 4 spaces with flower petals. It is okay if some are big and some are skinny. That's fine. They will all work. It's better to have them slightly different than all exactly the same. I am now going to color them in with yellows and oranges and maybe a little red and white. I start with orange and then I use yellow. So it's orange and then yellow. After I do that, I can go back over it, maybe blend in some white or some red if I want to give it a highlight, or if I want to make it look a little bit more of a richer color, I can give it that red color added to it. So let's get some white. You can see how it blends in there. It gives a little bit of a highlight, makes it look more 3D. I'm going to keep working on this until all the flower petals are filled in. So let's do one more. I'm going to use some orange, and then I'm going to go over it with yellow. That looks pretty good. Now this time let's use some red. Let's try it out with the red. Okay, so I'm just going to blend it in. It makes it look more like a shadow, a little bit richer color. So either way is fine. You can use oranges, yellows, and reds, and white to make all your flower petals. Once they are all filled in, you need to find a spot somewhere on your paper to write your name. It can go on the front or the back. These will be cut out, so it doesn't matter if it goes on the front or the back. Clean up your stuff and you are all done for today.